Hello and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. My name is Fritz.
Was that intentional?
Yeah, it's April Fool's Day.
Oh my god.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. My name is Patrick.
Okay, so we're doing the other one. I wasn't sure. We didn't specify.
All right, I'll go back to it. It worked. Hello and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. My name is Fritz.
My name is Richard. If you get that joke, you'll know.
Yeah. Happy April Fools, everybody. We're here with this week's new releases in comic books, and that ain't no joke, man.
Nope. Though there is plenty of funny things in some of these books. Yeah.
There is a bit of humor, including, right? Didn't you say that Bizarro's got a little bit of...
Yeah, so just going straight into my pick this week, Bizarro Year None. We've got a new miniseries here. As you might guess from the title, it's kind of like the origin of Bizarro, as much as that can be a thing. And despite the name of the title, actually a good chunk of this issue is spent with Jimmy Olsen and Perry White, with Jimmy kind of trying to, this is when before he's really got the faux journalist job at the plant, so he's trying to convince Perry, like, hey man, you know I can do this, and Perry's just like, nah, you're too young, you have no experience.
Quit calling me chief.
Yeah, actually, yes, that is a whole thing in here. And the book is, I should have figured, because Kevin Smith is one of the co-writers of the book, the other one is Erica Carasso. I'm not super familiar with him or his work, but regardless, the book is very fine. There's this whole sequence where a bunch of the other Planet staff are kind of like intersplicing between Perry telling his whole story of just like, when I was 5, and they're like, because they've all heard the story before, so they like know it by heart, and they're just like doing it, and it's a great bit. And honestly, the main reason I checked this out is Nick Patera is doing the art, and he was an artist on one of my favorite early books by Jonathan Hickman, the Manhattan Projects.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got this very kind of like, it's kind of Frank Quietly, but more cartoony, is how I describe it. And which is a very good fit for a very weird sci-fi tale like Bizarro generally kind of brings about, if you can't tell from his weird cubed earth. And yeah, so most of the story is just kind of them, and then we do finally get to Bizarro World at the end, and it's similar but also very different from maybe what you're expecting. This Bizarro is not exactly the Bizarro you've seen before, in a way where it's just like, okay, your whole deal is like, you can kind of see how we're going to get to where the Bizarro of like, me and Superman's worst friend, or like best enemy, however you want to phrase it. How we get there. But this Bizarro was very different at this point. And you can kind of see like how we're going to get there. The cracks are forming in this facade that I think he's trying to like project.
Sure.
He's trying to create this perfect world, but it being Bizarro, it's not exactly working out, so to say.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but no, very, very fun book. It's just going to be, I think, just a 4-issue miniseries, so a fun little in and out. I love all the Superman books they've been doing, especially in this last year because of the movies coming out. New trailer for Supergirl dropped yesterday.
Yeah,
a lot more Lobo in this one, which I'm sure a lot of people will be excited about.
That seems to be one of the big draws for people.
Which shows, because if you didn't get a chance, we sold out within like the first day of the new Lobo series. Yeah. So I think we've got more on order, or
we'll see. We'll see if they fulfill it. I ordered a bunch more.
Gotcha.
So we'll see if it gets fulfilled, but I believe that it is also going to a second print. So
which makes sense. Yeah. Moral of the story is everything Superman. It's really good right now. Go check it out. I think we just got the first volume of Supergirl in trade paperback again. So that one's pretty good too.
It's really a fun time if you're a fan of the whole super wing of the DC universe. Yeah.
But you've got your own high-flying superhero.
Yes, we're out in space with Nova Centurion number 6. Good news, the cancellation of this book has been reversed. It will continue. There's going to be a gap. So we've got, I keep forgetting the name of this event that Marvel's doing this summer. What's the event?
Armageddon?
Armageddon.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was you like trying to do a bit or if you just actually couldn't remember.
No, yeah, I can't remember. The bit is my memory stinks. Yeah. Armageddon. Well, in fairness, the big publishers do so many damn events now. It's impossible. And
I will say people keep saying that they do so many now, which is like I'll say they've been doing this amount for like the last 30 years. I don't really think
I'll say 40.
I don't think they're doing more than they used to.
Well, that's where the next point that I was going to make is, and they keep trotting out the ones they've been doing for the last few decades over and over and over
It's Civil War's 20th anniversary this year. We're getting a new miniseries. This is a whole different tangent.
Yeah,
but
wow. Yeah, God. Yeah, oh, right. Yeah, we're getting the director's cut or extended edition. Or Unmasked. Civil War Unmasked. Is that?
I'm going to refer to it as Lion King 1.5.
Yep.
I shouldn't have said that when you were drinking.
That is very accurate. I have seen that terrible movie, and it is accurate.
I've got one note for that movie. We'll talk about it afterwards. But
so this book did get canceled. That was my April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
The way that this ends,
it definitely leaves itself open to like more.
And McKay is a big enough, creator at Marvel. He's probably got a bit of sway. Mm-hmm. So perhaps on the other side of this Armageddon event where Marvel gets kind of a, publication-wide soft relaunch.
Presumably. It'd be weird if they don't at this point.
Yeah, well, Comic Club was talking about it last night. And, the X books have started and then stopped and then restarted already since the end of Krakoa. You've only got the two flagship titles, X-Men and Uncanny X-Men, who have the same creative teams on them right now and have continued. Everything else was canceled and rebooted or replaced. Mm-hmm. You've got a longtime writer on Thor now and Hulk. Iron Man's a brand new run and Daredevil's a brand new run.
We'll get there.
Yeah, but other than... and Moon Knight also has a longtime writer on it. So you've got a whole bunch of titles that are either in limbo or have had creative teams for years on them. And then you've got a bunch that you've got a handful that just restarted, which will probably make it through, right? They're not going to do it for 4 months or whatever.
It would be I won't lie, it would be very funny if they relaunch Iron Man in like a couple months.
Yeah, well, and Punisher too. Punisher's just got, it's Percy on that book now. Mm-hmm. And Percy's everywhere. I just saw that he's doing a Rogue One book now too for Marvel.
I think it's, they're doing a series of one-shots because of the 10th anniversary.
Yeah. It turns out the movie that they wanted to forget for a while is the one that everybody loves now, and things are weird. But anyway, this was, it felt like a quick kind of wrap up of everything, but of course it did, because, they ended up abandoning this whole Marvel Galactic relaunch already, and, but Jed McKay on this book was really good. Mm-hmm. I felt like the whole approach to Richard Rider and putting him in this difficult situation just really worked well for the character. Mm-hmm. And I really liked the resolution of this story arc and the way that that we're walking away from Rich in this moment in time. So I think that there's a good opportunity that we come back. I'm hopeful.
And I know Kelly Thompson, since she's the writer, or no, not Kelly, Stephanie Williams? Yeah, Stephanie Williams, the writer on She-Hulk. Yeah. What she's talked about definitely sounds like, this current crop of space books is ending. It sounds like it's a lot more that like Marvel's just like shifting what they're going to be doing with the space stuff. So there should be hopefully some announcements coming up about like what that new direction is going to be. Probably again, like post Armageddon, we'll get a better idea of that.
Yeah.
But I don't think all these characters are going away for a long time or anything. I think it's just a matter of like how we're going to like reshuffle the board again.
Yeah, there seems to... It's funny how Marvel and DC kind of ebb and flow, right? Like, DC for a long time, everybody talked about how, they've got all these great characters. Why can't they just figure out how to have some sort of plan for this whole, universe? And and get everybody in there instead of just cramming Trinity books down our throats constantly. There's still a lot of Trinity books. There's no lack of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, but they're figuring out how to get the rest of the stable out onto the field as well. And they've really done a good job of making it about the stories, right? So the quality of their product has really improved. And when we were saying that about Marvel before DC was down here, they have definitely shifted. And the number of customers who are coming in now and saying like, wow, DC is really doing well. What's going on with Marvel? Like it's not just us, although it might be, an echo chamber, I guess. But that seems to be kind of the consensus online and everything too, is like, what is Marvel doing? It feels like they just don't have a plan. Like they announce a creative team, they cancel it right away. Nothing quite sticks. Like some of the combinations they're putting on books are kind of weird. And like there just doesn't seem to be an overarching plan right now, which is really strange because, man, you look at how well Krakoa did and everything and like, but I think it's tough. I think it's probably tough to manage properties that are 60-something years old and have all of that and whatever. But at the end of the day, I think it's like, let writers write, man. So anyway, speaking of that, we've got a relaunch for a character that's 60-something years old.
It's a Daredevil #1 day. People have been waiting for this because this book got kind of delayed a bit, but it was worth the wait. This was a very fun first issue.
Yes. I liked everything about this, actually. I would say that this is kind of a, sometimes when you get a #1, you're cannonballing into the waters of the story. And other times you're just kind of gently walking down the steps into some nice warm water. And I would put this more in the latter of the two.
Yeah.
I was a little worried because there's a character that shows up right at the beginning of it who is, portrayed as an antagonist. And I was like, crap, I don't know who this is. I must have missed something leading into this. No, don't worry about it. It's a new character.
Yeah, like, the issue starts off, we kind of get this, like, these kind of vague portents about like future problems that Matt's going to have to deal with. As usual, his life will not be easy. He's Matt Murdock. It's never once been in his entire existence. But at least for the time being, things aren't the worst. We get a fun little action scene with him as Daredevil. We get a look at his new day job as a professor at Empire.
Professor at ESU.
Yeah, which is it's always fun whenever we get to go back to Empire State.
I thought that was a really cool concept too. Like. Obviously, his past as a defense attorney is very public and has a lot of ups and downs, and it would make it difficult to continue practicing law. But this was a really interesting way for him to be able to interact with people in kind of a thoughtful manner, which has always been kind of a Daredevil thing. Like he's in his head a lot, and because we're reading, his thoughts, we kind of know a lot of that. So it's interesting to see him kind of try to impart knowledge on others.
Yeah.
And realize when he maybe can learn from other people too.
And it's always interesting when it comes to a Daredevil book because there's kind of like two modes that they will usually fall into, sometimes within the same run, where the two kind of like phases of Matt you can get are, oh, everything is awful. And, like he's got that very like Catholic guilt bearing down him, like, woo, I get to swing around and like kick people in the face. This is cool. And like, and it's always a good hallmark of a run when they can like find a way to straddle those two lines, because like those are two very like big facets of his character. This guy who loves to live free, but is also like constantly under the crushing weight of his like decisions.
Well, and I think Stephanie Phillips alludes to that right off the bat. Like she's got him thinking like, oh, this is the best part of being Daredevil, swinging around and punching through a windshield as somebody who's trying to steal a car. And by the way, I've got a lot of Catholic guilt.
Yeah,
like they do a good job of that.
So far, obviously, we're one issue, but in terms of like just kind of like how he's written, it reminds me a lot of Wade's run of the character, where it was a lot of him. I
agree.
Very much trying to like put on the show of like happy-go-lucky Matt, like I'm dealing with everything with a smile and two fists.
Yep.
But at the same time, like clearly, obviously, still like going through it in the background. And I think she nails that pretty well here. So that gives me a good feeling for where we're going with this series.
Lee Garbett, where have we seen Lee Garbett before?
So he's done a couple different things at Marvel. Probably the biggest one that I can think of offhand was the Loki Agent of Asgard book a while back.
Sure.
He's done some other stuff for both them and Marvel, or Marvel and DC, I mean. Like he did when Stephanie became Batgirl for a bit there, Premium 52, he was artist on that book.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's been around for a bit on a bunch of different titles for him.
Very polished. I like the coloring on this book is also really good. Nails that kind of Matt Murdock smirk, that kind of swashbuckling, handsome, kind of, I don't know, devil may care kind of vibe, and he's got that kind of Errol Flynn kind of persona that's going here casually. So it works out really well. But I thought like the way that the attention to even the characters in the college classroom and whatever was really nice. It was well done. So I'm excited about this. I think there's quite a bit of buzz amongst our customers too. So I've got a ton of variants for it. So there will be a lot to choose from, and I hope we ordered enough issues because this is off to a strong start. And Marvel does have a handful of books right now that are I'm interested in where Punisher's going right now. Ben Percy is doing, that's a good fit. I think that's a good character for him and his style. And so it'll be interesting to see where we go. All right, well, what almost made it up here for you?
Very close. I almost picked it over Bizarro, but the new issue of Batman was a lot of fun.
Batman was very good. Speaking of great art.
Oh yeah, Ryan Sook is the guest artist on this issue, and he's very different from Jimenez, but it still very much works for the story the book is trying to tell in this issue. And it's super cool anytime they kind of lean into the whole thing of, Alan Scott, we kind of made it so he was originally a superhero in Gotham, and then having him brought in to consult on hey, so Vandal Savage, the whole notion of having to think about Savage doesn't really think in terms of how a normal person would, just in terms of how time scales work.
Oh my God, the thing about
to him, a guy slighting him 100 years ago is the same thing to you, someone getting your food order wrong an hour ago.
Right.
He will keep a hold of that and will come back at you tenfold at least.
And I thought the fact that the way that Alan broke down why Vandal Savage was doing what he was doing, it was multi-layered. It's not just one thing. There are multiple reasons why, but the motivation for how he's approaching his time here in Gotham
and his life in general, basically everything just runs on spite. Which is
survival.
Man. Yeah, survival. And when you've been around tens of thousands of years, that's probably how you would just respond to everything. It's just how can I get mine and get back at anyone who's gone in the way of that?
The art in particular, as they were doing, little images of Vandal Savage throughout history, those were the parts that I really enjoyed. Although there is something. It's a classic comic book scene that's been done bunches of times, but a couple people sitting down in a diner drinking cups of coffee, one of them dressed up as a Batman, one of them just looking like an average person. I don't know what it was, but that was very charming. It triggered some sort of, emotional response to me where I was like, this is cool. This is fun. How interesting must it be for the dishwasher to be just kind of looking out there and dude, Batman is sitting out in the lobby right now just in the middle of the day just talking to some dude. And making that dude pick up the check. That was great.
No, that was really good. What else this week? The new Mad One shot for April Fool's Day was really fun. The Sergio Gomez, which of course you're going to have him for a Mad book. His stuff in there was really good.
Because he's got to be 80 now, right?
I think at least 70s probably.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I want to say he's somewhere in my dad's age range, so yeah.
Yeah, because he's an OG Mad magazine guy, right? Well, maybe not back to the 60s, but pretty early on.
Pretty early, yeah.
And he's got a group book that's out this week, too. sometimes as artists age, you start to see a real change in the way, not at all with him. His humor is still exactly the same. His cartooning looks like they could have picked it up from the 80s. Like, it's bonkers how well this guy's work has continued to be.
And maybe it's just because, like,
good.
Maybe it's just because of, like, I have a lot of fond memories of reading a lot of his Groove stuff, but, like, I think I put him in, like, one of my top 10 favorite artists. Just anything I've ever read of his is always a delight.
Yeah, a legend, really. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else was good? Oh, Absolute Superman. We got 2 new characters that show up. That was super fun. We get kind of a little bit of background for both. One more, very directly and specifically told than the other alluded to.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. And we get the Super Watches showing up, which is also cool. What else? There was a bunch of stuff. I read the new Magic about Jace. Oh, we just made a sale. There was a bunch of good stuff this week. Oh, the new comics magazine, which I'm enjoying that too. That's a lot of fun. You get some preview-y kind of stuff. You get some creators talking about the process and some interesting advertisements and stuff. That's just a fun book. So yeah, all kinds of, no joke. There's a bunch of good stuff to pick up this week. So, all right. Well, we should probably let people know that we're open extended hours now. Also not a joke. Started last night, so Tuesdays through Saturdays.
Maybe a weird day to announce it.
Yeah, right. Tuesdays through Saturdays, we've extended our evening hours until 9 o'clock. Friday nights, obviously, we're here doing Friday Night Magic. So, realistically, that's more like 11 o'clock if you need to stop in and pick up your comics and you just haven't had time during, regular-ish hours to be able to do so. You still have that opportunity to do that on Friday nights, but now Tuesdays through Saturdays, you can come in right up until 9 o'clock and be able to pick up your stuff. So, and if you can't make it in, just like the chime on the cash register implied, we have the ability for you to make your purchases online as well, either through the app or through the website. So check those out if you haven't yet.
And if you don't have the apps or whatever, you can always just call in if you need something.
That's true. Yeah, we're totally willing to do it old school and call or text and
send a pigeon.
Send a pigeon.
Maybe don't do that. They poop everywhere.
And then our windows are so big, they keep running into them. So there's a lot of pigeon cleanup out there in more ways than one. So, all right. Well, we do this every week because we love reading comic books and we love talking about it because the sound of our own voice is melodious to us. So, So be sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment, share, stop on into your local comic shop. We will be back next week with more Pulp Picks. Until then, enjoy the reading.
I will say I've been coming in just because to avoid any of the construction over there. I've been coming over by Burger King there, and boy, does that whole area just like when you drive by just like reek of Whoppers.
Yeah.